Good morning. It is Thursday, October 6. I'm Shane Seeley, and this is the CBC Morning Report. We're leading our news this morning in a move that's expected to affect oil prices here in Barbados. OPEC has agreed to its deepest cuts in oil production since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, curbing supply in an already tight market despite pressure from the United States and others to pump more. In a statement after a meeting in Vienna yesterday, the global cartel of oil-producing countries announced it would produce 2 million barrels less a day. The move could spur a recovery in oil prices, which have dropped to about $90 per barrel from $120 3 months ago on fears of a global economic recession.
The US has called the move short-sighted and misguided, saying it will harm the global economy. Fuel prices skyrocketed in the spring when Russia invaded Ukraine, but then dropped in the last 3 months over fears of a global recession. US officials say they want to keep oil prices low in order to deprive Russia of revenue. A cut in production could also lead to higher prices at petrol pumps. Well, here's what Saudi Arabia's energy minister had to say after that meeting.
Our priority now is stabilizing market. Now, we could be accused of wanting to influence market in a negative way. That's everybody's prerogative. You and others will see how we conduct ourselves in the months to come. But with this situation, prevailing situation, I think we ought to buy ourselves a good period of working and focusing on how to attend to this market situation, and then hopefully somewhere later on 23, as we hopefully can come out of this situation, we will have the time and the days to and again reinvigorate ourselves with some reality check.
And Al Jazeera's Dominic Kane is in Berlin with more on the meeting.
What is informing the decision that has been taken is the concern at the price of oil and the way it stands now compared to where it was just 2-3 months ago, when it was 25% higher than it is currently. And very much the sense coming from the countries making these decisions that that was what was uppermost in their minds: stability, but also an eye on those prices. But remember also that the United States government, which does not take part in these meetings, had said that it did not want to see output cut. So clearly there is, to a certain extent, some idea of a collision course between these two attitudes. But from Vienna, a very clear steer, a cut coming in November and 2 million barrels a day being cut. There is a lag time, as it were, between the announcement of either a rise in output or a cut in output, and then the effect that it has on the price of oil. And then once that effect is known at the trading side of things, then there is the lag between that rise or cut in prices in trading and the way it reaches the pumps where people get their oil, whether it's gasoline, petrol, whatever. And that is the question now. In 3 weeks' time, so some analysts, there will be, this lag will be over. People will know what sort of effect it will have.
And we'll have more reaction to that breaking story in subsequent newscasts. In another top story this morning, after Barbadians expressed sentiments of surprise, anger and even disappointment at an online survey for first-form secondary school students, the Inter-American Development Bank has expressed regret that the survey administered by the bank has offended so many. The survey was produced by an organization called Code.org as a pretest in the area of computer studies. The survey included several questions, including about feeling sad, depressed, or harboring thoughts of suicide, and about the relationship with their parents, as well as using illegal drugs. In a statement issued last night, the bank sincerely apologized but stressed that no offense was intended. The questions at the center of concern to which the Ministry of Education had objected prior to the administering of the survey and which were inadvertently left in the paper have now been removed. The IDB further stated that it recognizes its position as a development partner with the government of Barbados, with a long and mutually respectful relationship and assures Barbadians it would not deliberately engage in any practice that would tarnish that relationship. Well, coming up on the morning report, we'll look at what is happening in Ukraine, and we'll have more news coming your way. Focusing on the war now, Russia's mobilization of 200,000 conscripts seems to have had little to no impact during the 32nd week of the war as Ukrainian forces recapture more territory in the south and east of the country.
It's a beehive of activity, a warehouse away from the front line full of supplies to be delivered for those who survived war and occupation. Food, basic necessities, and glass to replace shattered windows as winter approaches.
This is our storage area for humanitarian aid. It's all for the liberated areas in the Kherson region. It's dangerous for the volunteers. There could be shelling still. That's why we deliver directly to homes, so we don't have gatherings of people.
There's a sense of urgency as Ukraine continues to inflict losses on Russian troops in the south. Some of the trophies of war now on display on the grounds of the school where President Volodymyr Zelensky used to attend. Ukraine has been announcing a sudden offensive since the summer, but then took everyone by surprise by making advances in the Kharkiv region in the northeast of the country. It was believed that the Russians have been reinforcing their defensive lines in the south, even though recently Ukraine has managed to push through some of them and regain some territory. The Ukrainian army advanced from the north through the vast plains, filming their each step. Here, entering the village of Starosilia, hoisting the Ukrainian colors and removing the Russian claims to land, like here in Novopetrivka. This woman says, "I have been waiting for you for so long." Kherson is one of 4 regions Russia has annexed a few days ago, claiming the majority of people there were welcoming the move. Taras says it's untrue. It's not his real name, as he is the co-founder of a network of activists known as the Yellow Ribbons, who have been carrying acts of civil disobedience in Russian-controlled regions.
We're going to continue to document all that's happening, the collaborators and the locations. It's our protest. Our activists will record everything and send it out. We do this to expose Russian claims and hope it helps our authorities. We will continue to distribute flyers.
The aid from Kiviri will continue to be delivered. It's as important as military achievements. Ukraine conveying the message that people there were never forgotten.
Well, time now to go to Tishia to hear what's happening on the Thursday edition of Mornin Barbados. Of course, there will be some focus on the youth. Tishia, good morning. What are you looking at today?
Good morning, Shane. It's so good to see you, and good morning, Barbados. We have lots planned today. We're going to be talking to Cardell Ferguson, General Manager of the Barbados Youth Business Trust, and telling you all about the U.S. Department of State's Academy for Women Entrepreneurs. It's called AWE, that new program. We will talk to you about that. Also, we are saluting a few exceptional youth You won't want to miss that either. And we're speaking with Chevening scholars. So today is all about saluting some people doing wonderful, wonderful things, Shane. All on Morning Barbados.
Thank you so much, Tisha. See you in a few minutes' time. Coming up here on the Morning Report now, we'll look at what happened at the launch of the first ever Fintech Financial and Technology Conference here in Barbados. Crystal Hoyt has those details, and a local charity goes to town yet again to give to the needy, and especially to those going back to school, who have gone back to school. Details to these stories and more coming up on the Morning Report. Regulations are being looked at to make access to banking services a whole lot easier. That was the theme on day one of the first ever Global Fintech Conference in the Caribbean. It got underway here yesterday at the Hilton Hotel in Barbados with over 100 fintech leaders from around the globe. Crystal Hoyt has more.
On the first day of the 2022 Fintech Islands Conference, Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Amor Motley, delivered the welcome address and posed the question of how technology can be leveraged to deal with some of the issues preventing persons from accessing banking services in the Caribbean, but particularly right here at home.
It's not just in the fintech area that persons have been debanked. It's in the area of gold. It's in the area of gold trading and pawnbrokers. It's in the area of the cannabis industry that we're trying to get off the ground, the medicinal cannabis industry. It's in the area of gambling. It's in the area of things, regrettably, that increase the possibility of crime rather than reduce it.
PM Motley says that her administration is keen to find solutions.
And my government is therefore looking at how we can put a regulatory framework in place to go beyond that which we gave as evidence in Congress, recognizing that the very people who we say are risky are placed more at risk because of a blanket banking and banning as a result of the international community.
She also revealed that government is in the advanced stages of the digital payments framework and other initiatives.
We have just approved a license for a digital bank that we expect to start operation within a few months, and we also have entities that are hoping to move from remittances to other types of digital payments, including, I believe, a replication of what Digicel and MasterCard has done in Jamaica and Haiti, what they may want to do here, but they're still at the stage of the regulatory framework with central bank.
And speaking of Digicel, they announced their partnership with MasterCard this morning to bring digital payment solutions to empower communities in the Caribbean. The MyCash digital wallet will allow people to manage their cash easily and securely. CEO for Digicel Financial Services described it as a catalyst for creating a robust fintech ecosystem across the region.
We're really excited to be partnering with MasterCard, which is really a big global organization, and leverage on the capability that they've built and partner with Digicel, which is the largest regional player, to really bring those two together, serve the underserved, underbanked, and also really work on developing the ecosystem. And we're really excited to partner with MasterCard. MasterCard has great labs in which they are innovating. We want to bring that to the region across all the 25 plus markets that we have. So it's a big milestone for us. We're starting with two big markets, both Jamaica and Haiti, and we're going to come to the rest of the Caribbean. So thank you so much.
The 2022 Fintech Conference continues tomorrow, and there will be even more discussions on how financial technology can improve our communities. Crystal Hoyt, CBC News.
We're also hearing here on the Morning Report there are no plans at this time to move the corporate tax rate in Barbados from 5%. Word of this from Carmel Haynes, the Executive Director of the Barbados International Business Association. Last October, 136 countries, including Barbados, agreed to tax reforms that include establishing a 15% minimum global corporate rate beginning in 2023. During the media launch of Global Business Week yesterday, Ms. Haynes was asked about the potential impact such a move could have on Barbados' international business sector. Here's what she had to say.
We know from what we've been hearing that there's still yet to have a consensus built. We know that it is not necessarily in the best interest in some of even the largest countries that are pushing this in terms of the US and the UK, with London being a global financial center. So we do not think necessarily that we have full sight of what the impact is going to be, but we do know that we've been assured by our minister and the government that there are no plans as yet to move the tax rate in Barbados.
Minister of State in the Ministry of Foreign Trade and Business, Sandra Husbands, who was present at the launch, confirmed there's been no decision on moving the corporate tax rate. However, she said Barbados can remain competitive if greater emphasis is placed on service excellence in all areas.
Your children come here and they're in school for the next 2 or 3 years. When they get back to their home country, they will be at least a year ahead of their age. And so executives, their partners, saw that as a tremendous plus, and that is what led to the tremendous growth of private schools in Barbados. If we can bring excellence to everything that we do, Barbados can remain competitive and still attract businesses because we're able to offer that extra that executives want to have.
Barbados is listed among the top 20 islands in the 2022 Condé Nast Traveler Reader's Choice Awards. The island earned a rating of 87.43, securing position number 5 as seen on the US-based travel magazine's website for its Caribbean and Atlantic category. St. Bart's earned the top spot, followed by Anguilla, the Turks and Caicos Islands, and Bermuda. Every year, for its Reader's Choice Awards, the magazine conducts a survey where readers rate the world's best islands, cities, countries, and resorts. Close to 200 children have now received some level of assistance with Back to School from the Fishers of Men charity and its partners. Founder Sharon Bellamy gave the update on yet another Back to School drive for the remaining parents and students still in need of supplies. She tells the Morning Report the process in terms of meeting the demand has been difficult.
Not easy trying to outfit nearly 200 children. It's lots of stress and, turning here and there, but they show me a good side, and I love that. And Mr. Abetz, he always comes down and makes sure that everything is happening for me. And I want to say thank you to all of my sponsors who had worked with me and who continue to work with me, because I don't think that it ends here, because there's still more needs of school clothes, and I'm still waiting on some funds from some of my other sponsors.
Ms. Bellamy has also been painting a picture suggesting some students have been unable to attend school due to lack of supplies.
Although school has started, there are numbers of persons who are still calling me and unable to get their children back to school. And we know that school has started some 2 weeks ago, and I know in Barbados today it's very hard for some parents, as I'm always saying that some of them had 5 children, 6 children, and the school stuff is very much expensive.
Many residents of Florida whose homes were destroyed by Hurricane Ian are now facing an arduous task of rebuilding without insurance or paying even steeper prices in an insurance market that was already struggling. Wind and storm surge losses from the hurricane could reach anywhere between $28 billion and $47 billion, making it Florida's costliest storm since Hurricane Andrew made landfall, and that was back in 1992. Hurricane Ian, which made landfall in Florida last week, has resulted in at least 125 confirmed deaths, including 75 in Florida alone. Ian's powerful winds and punishing storm surge knocked out power lines, flooded homes, and destroyed businesses.
Known for its sugar-like sand and teal blue waters, the southwest coast of Florida is now a place of desolation. It has been a week since Hurricane Ian slammed these shores, and the death toll keeps rising. Where people once searched for a spot to sunbathe, rescue teams now search for survivors.
If there's no answer, we move on to the second home, and we will continue that throughout this whole entire block.
First responders have come to Florida from all over the United States to help. The governor is praising their efforts.
There's more urban search and rescue capability in Florida since this storm than has ever been in one place, in one state, since 9/11.
Despite a mandatory evacuation notice, many people chose to stay home and face the storm. And
the inquest into a police shooting and death of an unarmed black man in London has begun. However, whether race was a factor will not conclude until next year. 24-year-old Chris Kaba was shot once in the head last month. We have a report.
24-year-old Chris Kaba was shot through the windscreen of a car. Police had linked the vehicle that he was driving to an earlier firearms incident, but they acknowledged that Kaba himself, crucially, was not a suspect. Kaba's family wants a quick decision on whether criminal charges will be brought against the officer who shot and killed him. Chris Kaba's cousin Jefferson Bosella spoke outside the coroner's court on Tuesday.
We need answers. Not just this family, but the whole of London, the whole of the country needs to know how something like this could occur. How can a young man sitting in a car, unarmed, be shot in the head by police in 2022? This should never have happened. It must never happen again. We must never accept this as normal.
A really sad story coming out of the UK. Let's look at sports now. The Windies let one slip as T20 World Cup host Australia and the champions really squeaked over the line off the penultimate ball of their T20 series opener in Carrara yesterday. Well, the game could have gone either way, with the hosts needing 11 off the final over in their pursuit of 146, but Raymond Reefer dropped Matthew Wade off Sheldon Cottrell's second delivery to tip the scales in Australia's favour, and this was followed by a more difficult drop catch by Kyle Mears. The errors ultimately cost the team, as Wade's unbeaten 39 was the decisive factor in the 3-wicket win. Captain Aaron Finch was named player of the match after making 58 from a new position, batting at number 4. The Windies, who are preparing for the qualifying group stage of this month's tournament, lost regular wickets as they posted 145 for 9. Mears was their top scorer with 39, including a sensational cover drive for 6, which everyone is talking about, off Cameron Green, that went viral on social media. Let's look at the match highlights. Well, the Windies are preparing for the qualifying stages, and, well, we'll hope that they will recover. The second and final T20 is set for tomorrow at 4:10 in the morning, Barbados time, with live coverage on MCTV's Sportsmax channel 310. Let's take a quick look at weather now. Temperature on the outside, 28 degrees Celsius. It's feeling a bit warmer as some of that precipitation has eased up. No real rain in the atmosphere at present. The relative humidity is 80% though, the barometric pressure, 10-11 millibars, and those winds are coming out of the east at 27 kilometers per hour. We'll see a low tide this morning at 20 minutes after 7. There will be a high tide in the afternoon at 5 minutes to 2. The seas are moderate in open water. Swells are between 2 and 1.5 meters and decreasing. Today in Barbados, we'll have a mix of sunshine and clouds with a few intermittent scattered light to moderate showers. Conditions have improved significantly. That's why tonight will be clear with cloudy periods and a few occasional brief light to moderate showers. There still will be a very slight chance of isolated thunderstorm activity. And here's a quick look at the international weather forecast. And that's my time for this edition of the CBC Morning Report. I'm Shane Seeley. I'll see you at 7 with headline news. Up next is Tisha with Morning Barbados.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning.
Good morning to you on this Thursday, October 6th. So good to have you in company for another edition of Morning Barbados. It's the 40th Thursday of 2022. Time is getting slim. As the young people would say, time is getting bony. So make sure you make the best of your time. I'm Tisha Hines, and I'll be here with you until just around 8 o'clock or so. And we have lots and lots to unpack on today's show. So we're going to jump right into it and go right ahead and tell you all about a program called the Awe Program, and it truly will have you in awe. Now, the U.S. Department of State's Academy for Women Entrepreneurs is what it's all about. And we are telling you all about how it equips women with practical skills needed to create sustainable businesses and enterprises. Joining us today to talk about it, Cardell Ferguson, who's General Manager of the Barbados Youth Business Trust, as well as Donald Maynard, the Public Affairs Officer with the U.S. Embassy in Barbados. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Tisha.
Good morning. So good to have both of you with us. I know it's early, and particularly for people who are not morning people, it takes getting up a little earlier. So I truly appreciate you coming through. But for this wonderful discussion that we're going to get into now, I'm going to start with you, Cardell, because I know the BYBT does a lot of fantastic work. And now you are the partner for the U.S. Embassy in implementing this Awe program here. So tell me more about it.
All right, so we started our partnership with the U.S. Embassy in 2019 for the Awe program. And what we have been able to do is run 3 cohorts, and we're now calling for our 4th. During the time that we've worked with the U.S. Embassy, we have supported in excess of 80 females to start and build out their businesses to a point when they can run with the ideas. During the program, what we do is we provide them with training in business. We also provide them with support. We provide them with incubation assistance, and we also provide them with mentoring.
Oh, those are some wonderful things. Now, Donald, if I could call you Donald, it's a wonderful opportunity for female entrepreneurs. Talk to us about the major goals of the program.
Thanks very much, Tisha.
as Cardell was saying, the whole program is about offering women here in Barbados the opportunity to explore and develop business ideas. And the embassy and the State Department of the United States remains committed to supporting female entrepreneurship in Barbados, the East Caribbean, and in fact around the world. And we really feel that in the post-COVID-19 world, entrepreneurship and employment is one of the strongest predictors of how the economy is going to be able to bounce back and to provide these opportunities for women to generate their own income and to grow the economy. The whole program is about helping women learn how to take a seed of an idea, to develop it, to work with mentors, with work advisors, and hopefully take their business idea and build it into an actual thriving business. We've been able to expand this program here in the Caribbean to other islands, to Antigua, Barbuda, Grenada, and St. Lucia. And as we look forward to this next cohort here in Barbados, and the deadline for sending in applications is, I think, a week from Saturday. It's Saturday, October 15, for women here in Barbados to send in their applications. You can come to our website for the U.S. Embassy. It's bbb.usembassy.gov. And put in your application there. We still have some slots remaining, and we want to make sure we have a full cohort of women taking advantage of this opportunity.
Talk to me, Donald. I'm going to throw back to you again about how it was implemented in other islands and what the response was like and the outcomes.
Sure, thanks, Tisha. As we grow the program and we find other partner organizations, we're trying to reach out to new communities. And we've reached out to the other nations here in the East Caribbean and launched the programs over the last couple of years. We've had a great response, and the program is indeed growing on the other islands. And I think, Cardell, did you say this is the fourth or fifth cohort for Barbados? And this is our keystone, the fourth. This is our keystone program in the region, and we look at it as sort of the example by which we can grow those other programs in other islands.
That's wonderful. And Cardell, talk to me now about what's happening here in Barbados. As Donald mentioned, the application cycle closes on the 8th, it really closes up in another few days or so. But talk to us about the rollout here in Barbados.
So what we've done, we launched our call for application a month ago, but we have seen some very low pickup. I'm guessing it's because of our nature of waiting till the deadline to send in our application. So we have extended the application from the 8th to the 15th to give more females the opportunity to apply. It is a competitive process, and so we want to make sure as many persons get the opportunity to try to become part of this program. We want to support as many female into business as we can. And this program, it provides the opportunity for you to flesh out your idea, create a business plan, get the support that you need, and then prepare for launching if you are not started or growing your business. Because we are looking for persons between ideation and 2 years of implementation.
All right, well, it's wonderful to know that you've extended it to the 15th, and I think a few people are going to smile about that. Tell us about the application process.
Wait till the 15th, though.
Tell us, absolutely not. Tell us about the application process. You said it's pretty competitive. Guide us to where we need to go and what needs to be done.
So as Donald said, so you go to the U.S. Embassy website. On the U.S. Embassy website, there is the application form as part of the information profile of the OR program here in Barbados. Once you get to that site, you would then find the form at the link, which is towards the bottom of that page. And then once you started your application, it's simple questions about you, about your business idea or business. And we also ask you to do an introductory video to us. Tell us why you want to be part of this process. This is going to be what convinces us to allow you to be part of this process. We want you to convince us. Please tell us about your business and why you're doing it.
And we want you to get on it like yesterday, literally.
Yes.
Donald, why is it important for the U.S. Embassy to be involved in programs like this one, and particularly one that really aims to help women?
Well, for us at the U.S. Embassy and the U.S. government, a vibrant, prosperous Barbados and East Caribbean is not only good for the people and citizens of the Caribbean, but also for the United States. And we feel that working with communities in the countries where we have embassies and consulates to help develop business ideas builds a thriving, prosperous ecosystem in the country. And we're all about providing those opportunities. And of course, we hope that some of the women that are successful with their business ideas do some business with the United States in the future, which can help build our economy as well.
That's wonderful. So Cardell, talk to me. We talked about the process of application, but the actual program itself, let's talk about the duration, how it runs. I would imagine it might be of a little concern to some people how they would be able to juggle it, particularly for women entrepreneurs who are just starting or getting into business. Sometimes, thinking about how they will juggle various things or multiple things might be a little bit of a deterrent. So let's talk it through so people feel more at ease in coming onto the program and seeing the benefits that will far outweigh any negatives.
Okay, so we are going to start the program on the 1st of November. And this is going to be a face-to-face opening. The U.S. ambassador is going to be on hand to welcome all of the females to the program. We're going to start classes on the 8th of November, and the classes will run from the 8th of November to the 8th of April. Running through the program, we would give each person an opportunity to learn more about, one, we start off by understanding the person and their motivation, and then move into the different facets of business, including financing, including how to manage staff, and all of these other areas. We break during the Christmas vacation to not only give you some downtime, but to also give you an opportunity to go to market and find out more about whether or not there is a demand for your product. What am I missing? We hope that each of the females that are participating in the program come with an open mind. We will give them opportunity to speak with experts in the form of mentors and in the form of panelists, so that they can then understand the journey into entrepreneurship. I think I'm missing something, but Tisha, I will remember it just now.
Yeah, but that's a really good start in getting us there so that we understand exactly what people need to do, what the program will be like, duration, a few of the modules they can expect. And I think it's a wonderful program to get into. And I certainly would encourage every female entrepreneur out there to be a part of it. And that means applying today, even though they've extended until the 15th of October. You definitely don't want to wait until then, because you might want to pull some information together. I'm going to give you, Donald, an opportunity to give us last words as we close out.
Well, thanks very much for the time to talk to your audience today. And I will say I've worked with this program in other countries where I've served, and one of the most gratifying things that I see is not only the excitement, the business exploration, the development, and the successful businesses that come out of the Academy of Women Entrepreneurs. It's also the camaraderie that the cohort builds. The women, of course, business people are competing with each other, but they become so supportive of each other through this process. And I think what we'll see yet again is more learning, more sharing within the group, not only from the mentors, but from the other women that are participating in the program. And to be a voyeur sitting on the sideline and watching the groups develop not only their ideas, but their relationships is absolutely amazing. It's something that we with the U.S. government and the embassy here in Bridgetown are very proud to be able to fund and to be a part of. So thank you to Cardell and to CBC for helping us get the word out, and we're looking forward to launching this next program in November.
And Cardell, I know that you are looking forward to that as well. I love the criteria for the applicants. Woman with business ideas. Oh, that's so challenging. 18 years of age or older, in business for a maximum of 2 years. You must be computer literate. Dedication and commitment to completing the course, of course. So serious persons only. You must have a clear business objective, be a resident of Barbados, and my personal favorite, have a positive attitude.
I have one more thing to say, Tisha. I now remember. The program is going to be run hybrid. We are going to have some of the sections being done online, but there are some areas that we recognize in programs that we've done before that we cannot afford to do online. We need to get the females in so that we can help them with their pitching, we can help them in understanding their financials and all of those other areas. Another thing is that we also give the females an opportunity to do an expo. So we will be having that expo in December. So we ask you to please look out for information related to the expo as soon as it comes out, and come out and support these females in business.
All right, thank you so much, Cardell, and thank you so much, Donald Maynard, Public Affairs Officer with the U.S. Embassy. Of course, Cardell Ferguson is the General Manager of the Barbados Youth Business Trust. I wish you the very best on the program, and be sure to come on back and tell us about how things pan out as well.
We will. Thank you.
Coming up next on Morning Barbados, we're going to tell you about an initiative, the Pinelands Creative Workshop, and how they are working with an international organization to bring bikes to you and programs to Barbadians. That's all next.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's 12 minutes before 7 o'clock. What are you doing? I don't know, something brewing in that kitchen. Let me know. I don't know what you're having for breakfast this morning. If you're getting the children ready, maybe you're in a rush. I don't know about you, but I don't know, something happened yesterday. This long commute in the afternoon is making me extremely tired. Yeah, so, you know, in the morning you feel like, I don't know, a little much. But make sure you get out of the house early, get on the road, and get there on time. We have to make sure that we let the little ones know it's important to be early. If you're on time, you're late. So if you have to be there by 8, you should be seated and ready to work at 8, not ready to have breakfast at 8, all right? A whole bunch of people just said, Tisha called me out. I did. eat the breakfast before you get to work. All right, so a major shipment of bikes arrived for the Pinelands Creative Workshop last weekend, and the purpose is for them to get them out to the public through sales and use the money to fund programs for the general public. We have Shelley Durant Ford of the Pinelands Creative Workshop joining us now to tell us more about this initiative. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Tisha. Good morning, Barbados.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good today. I'm good.
I'm so accustomed to seeing you on the stage. You know, it's majorly different to see you here with us this morning, but equally as wonderful to have you joining us to tell us about this program. You're going to use the funds to produce free educational programs for the public. So let's start at the beginning. Tell us about this partnership with Bikes for the World. How did it come about?
Okay, so we have an initiative with Bikes for the World. We actually started selling bicycles from 1994, and initially we started with an organization called Pedals for Progress. After that, Bikes for the World was another organization that branched off from Pedals for Progress, and we had a better relationship with them, and better quality bikes were produced with them. So we stick with them, and they donate bicycles to organizations like ours across the world. We bring in 2 shipments of bicycles every year, and it helps with sustainable development, and you know, they're promoting affordable transportation in different countries. So whereas in countries like Africa and Asia, they use the bicycles for mostly transportation, we do it a little bit different here in the Caribbean. Although we would have some of our customers that would use the bicycles for transportation, our main focus is channeling the funds that we receive from the sales of the bikes into the many projects that we have here at Pinelands Creative Workshop.
Oh, that's, you know, it's a great program. I heard about it and immediately I fell in love. Like you mentioned, in Barbados, we don't use a lot of Bikes for Progress. We think a little differently. So people think, you know, progress means getting a big vehicle. I like to call them the boats, especially when people have, you know, put a boat on the road. And especially, I'm thinking people over COVID, everybody bought a car, and that might be the reason. But I'm just back from New York City, and, you know, a lot of people move around using their bikes, even in their corporate wear and stuff like that. Here in Barbados, you know, people tend to use it for recreational purposes a whole lot more than they used to in the past and stuff like that. So how can we get our hands on these bikes as we help with Pedaling for Progress? I know that's the other organization, but I love that term.
Okay, so our initiative is Bikes for Barbados, and we sell the second-hand bikes at our office at Pinelands Creative Workshop. We're located in Wildy. We're just above the sanitation department, the second left turn, first left if you're heading towards the highway. We have bicycles for everyone. We have bicycles for little babies, tiny tots, toddlers, adults, teenagers, mummies, daddies, grandmas, grandpas, if they just want to get some exercise. We have bicycles. They're affordable. Our bikes starts for the teeny tots from like $75, and they go as high as $600. I know when people hear secondhand bikes, they may be thinking, oh, old and rusty. No, our bikes are very high quality. Some of the bikes are actually new, and some hardly ridden, Tisha, hardly ridden. Remember that when you spend your money at Pinelands and you buy a bike, your money go even further. You're supporting our 11 Plus program, early childhood development, our CSET programs, our entrepreneurship programs, our culture development programs for these young people in our community and the surrounding communities. So think about, you're buying a bike, but then you're supporting so much. Why would you want to go anywhere else?
It's true. I want to love up Pinelands a little bit as we close out this interview, because you guys have been doing some wonderful work for so many years. So, you know, you talked about the programs that you're doing, but talk a little bit about how you have been able to empower your community through the years.
Finance right now, next year, Tisha will be 45 years old.
Wow.
I started finance from the tender age of 11. And for me as an individual, finance has done so much for me. I do come from the finance community. I come from the Golden Rock area. And having the opportunities through finance to develop me as an individual, I always want that for everyone else. I find that our people in our community need to access these programs. We have so many different programs. We had a housing project where we were able to offer housing, affordable housing for some people that came through the finance community. We were able to send many of some of our members and persons within the community to school, pay their school fees, make sure that they have their clothing, prepare lunches and stuff for them. And we were also able to do employment programs at our resource center where we were able to prepare some of these members for the world of work. Our last big major program was we were on with Pearson a couple months ago where we did our entrepreneurship program for women in collaboration with CPDC, and that was a very successful program. So Keisha, we continue to work hard in the community. We also use our cultural arm to educate the public and also, to find things for young people to do,
Listen, Shelley, we're going to have to give you an entire program to talk about pilots. The loving up is definitely there because you guys have been doing so much. I want to thank you for coming through and sharing with us and for gracing the stage and TV over the years. We've watched all of you grow up on TV. So thank you so much. And Bikes for Barbados, make sure you go on over to Pinelands Creative Workshop and support it. I'll be coming over. So look out for me, all right?
Definitely.
All right. So we're going to continue. Thank you. We're going to continue to tell you more about that initiative. Of course, we love to follow up and see how things pan out as well. Hey, the time has moved on. It's quickly moving. It's now 4 minutes to go before the 7 o'clock hour. Do you remember the story of Nancy? I'll tell you more after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Cicely Spencer-Cross is president of the Barbados Association of Drama Educators and so much more. Good morning to you, Cicely. Hello.
Okay, good morning. Good morning, Tisha. How are you this morning?
I am doing well. How are you? It's always so good to see you.
Thank you. Nice seeing you too.
All right, so tell me all about this stage reading of the CXC text Anansi by Alistair Campbell. It sounds very interesting and I'm very excited.
Well, I am excited too because we have not been doing much because of COVID and so forth. And the Barbados Association of Drama Educators came up with the idea that we wanted to impart knowledge to our teachers, get some theater happening in the schools. Theater and education is crucial to me, being a theater practitioner. So we started by looking at this text that is new on the CXC syllabus for the coming year. And we thought that we would do a 4-part exercise. First thing, we were going to do the stage reading of the play. And we wanted to incorporate teachers as well as perhaps seasoned theater persons to come together and let the students see that we as theater arts teachers, we're asking you to go on stage. So we're telling you that we will go on stage ourselves. Okay? And then out of this workshop, we want to have a workshop out of this stage reading. And hopefully the third part would be, because it is based on the cultural form of storytelling, we're asking our students to create playmaking pieces, which they have to do for the CXC syllabus, and have a playmaking festival. We've done it twice before, and I thought that, we need to showcase what our students are doing in terms of theater, because when you think theater, you have to have an audience. And to have an audience, you have to have something to show your audience. And therefore, we want to have the Playmaking Festival, and then finally to do a major production, a multimedia production of the play Anansi. So we're starting at the beginning and concluding with a major production sometime late in the year. But importantly is to get the teachers and the theater arts practitioners to come and have an opportunity to see the play, discuss the play, so that when you go into the classroom, you can actually go with tools to help you in teaching the play as a piece of literature.
I think it will make a really big difference in terms of how the students take it in. I certainly am more of a hands-on and visual person, and I know there are tons of students who are that same way as well. The reading is coming up pretty soon, though.
The reading is actually on the 7th, which is tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the Daphne Joseph Hackett Theatre, primarily for teachers of literature and theater arts. But there are, a few extra seats that we thought it would be good to give the public an opportunity at 1 o'clock, perhaps retired persons or persons having lunch. Why not have lunch by coming and just seeing a stage reading of the play Anansi?
And of course, Anansi is truly a Caribbean classic. So we definitely will enjoy it.
Yes, yes, yes. And because, as I said, it's based on storytelling, storytelling is a cultural form that is, part and parcel of our culture. We're always telling stories. We had times when there was no television, but we sat on our steps and we shared stories. And once there's a gathering of people, it's always about stories. And that's how we pass on our traditions. That's how we pass on our morals. That's how we pass on, history through storytelling. And therefore, this is a good play for students, teachers, and the general public, to be exposed to.
Thank you so much, and thanks for coming on and sharing with us. I'm always amazed at how wonderful you look every time I see you. It's like you just
Thank you
age.
very much.
So it's really great to see you. And thank you. We want to encourage everybody to come on out tomorrow, 1 o'clock, Daphne Joseph Hackett Theatre, and be a part of that stage reading of Anansi. We'll keep you updated on what else is coming up. And speaking of updates, it's time for us to update you on news. Shane Seeley is in the seat and ready to go.
Thank you, Tisha. Here's your headline news for this Thursday morning, October 6. Former Government Minister Donville Innes has lost his appeal before the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit to overturn a conviction for laundering bribes. The court, in a 6-page document, ruled Innes's arguments there were insufficient for his money laundering convictions to be overturned. The appeals court also rejected arguments the jury instructions were faulty. Innes, the former Minister of Industry here in Barbados, was sentenced last year to 2 years behind bars for laundering bribes he received from a Barbadian insurance company through a U.S. bank. Evidence presented at the trial showed that in 2015 and 2016, Innes took part in a scheme to launder into the U.S. approximately $36,000 in bribes he had received from executives of the insurance company to help secure 2 government contracts. Now, after Barbadians expressed sentiments of surprise, anger and disappointment at an online survey for first-form secondary school students, the Inter-American Development Bank has expressed regret that the survey administered by the bank has offended so many. The survey was produced by an organization called Code.org as a pretest in the area of computer studies. The survey included several questions, including about feeling sad, depressed, or harboring thoughts of suicide, about the relationship with their parents, and using illegal drugs. In a statement issued last night, the bank sincerely apologized but stressed that no offense was intended. The questions at the center of concern to which the Ministry of Education had objected prior to the administering of the survey and which were inadvertently left in the paper have now been removed. The The IDB further stated that it recognizes its position as a development partner with the government of Barbados with a long and mutually respectful relationship, and assures Barbadians it would not deliberately engage in any practice that would harm that relationship. There are no plans at this time to move the corporate tax rate in Barbados from 5%. Word of this has come from Carmel Haynes, the Executive Director of the Barbados International Business Association. Last October, 136 countries, including Barbados, agreed to tax reforms that include establishing a 15% minimum global corporate rate beginning next year. During the media launch of Global Business Week yesterday, Ms. Haynes was asked about the potential impact such a move could have on Barbados's international business sector.
We know from what we've been hearing that there's still yet to have a consensus built. We know that it is not necessarily in the best interest in some of even the largest countries that are pushing this in terms of the US and the UK, with London being a global financial center. So we do not think necessarily that we have full sight of what the impact is going to be, but we do know that we've been assured by our minister and the government that there are no plans as yet to move the tax rate in Barbados.
And we're still focusing on back to school, as we hear that close to 200 children have now received some level of assistance with that from the Fishers of Men charity and its partners. The founder, Sharon Bellamy, gave the update on yet another back to school drive yesterday for the remaining parents and students still in need of supplies. She tells the Morning Report the process in terms of meeting the demand has been difficult.
Not easy trying to outfit nearly 200 children. It's lots of stress and, you know, turning here and there, but they show me a good side, and I love that. And Mr. Abed, he always comes down and makes sure that everything is happening for me. And I want to say thank you to all of my sponsors who had worked with me and who continue to work with me, because I don't think that it ends here, because there's still more needs of school clothes, and I'm still waiting on some funds from some of my other sponsors.
And that's it for our headline news for this morning. I'm Shane Celia. Tishia will have more on the other side for you on today's edition of Morning Barbados.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning. It's 10 minutes after 7 o'clock. Get that move on. And we're so happy that you're joining us. A special good morning to those of you who are watching online on YouTube as well. We have some people who are tuned in every single day, and we appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Of course, we love to hear from you. We are online. You can find us easily on Facebook, on Instagram, as well as on YouTube for those people who do not know. And a special welcome to our CBC TV 8 viewers as well. Now, Chevening scholarships, we hear about them often, but what do you know about them and how much do you know about what they do for our Caribbean people? Well, since the 1980s, the very early 1980s, Chevening scholarships have been offering grants to exceptional professionals in the region and giving them an opportunity to study and experience life in the UK. And this morning, we are going to salute a few of the latest Chevening scholarships. And we're reaching out to our neighbors in St. Vincent and the Grenadines to start. First of all, congratulations to Max Ron Holder, who is a 2022 Chevening scholar. Good morning to you, Max Ron.
Good morning. Good morning from 13-degree Edinburgh.
All right, good to have you with us. Tell us a little bit about you, your background, and why you decided to apply for the scholarship.
Well, I'm Max Renholder. I have a background in law. While during my undergraduate years, I realized that I have a passion for foreign investment and foreign trade. So last year, I was encouraged by some of my friends who were Chevening scholars about the opportunities that the Chevening Scholarship had offered them and the life-changing experiences that they've had in the UK. So they encouraged me to apply. They thought that I was the ideal Chevening scholar. So I decided to give it a try and apply. And here I am now.
What was the application process like? I've heard it's quite rigorous.
Yes, it is quite rigorous. This process actually started 1 year ago with the applications. You have to fill out the application online, you have to write a few essays, and then you get shortlisted and you get interviewed. This is where you basically sell yourself and sell your ideas. And then after the interview, you wait for about 2 months to get the results from the interview.
What was that wait like? Because 2 months is a long time to wait to hear if you've made it to the next stage.
Yes, it was quite overwhelming at times. I wake up every morning refreshing my email, messaging other applicants, asking them if they've heard anything, looking at the Secretariat's social media to see if anybody got any information. And at one point, I was going close to going crazy, and I was so worried. But it was really worth the wait.
Now, when I hear you talking about refreshing your email, I know you're going stark crazy on that one because it auto-refreshes.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I couldn't even wait for it to auto-refresh. I just kept doing it myself to see if anything is there, checking my junk mail over and over, daily, sometimes 10 times in 1 hour. Yes, that's what those 2 months were like.
All right, talk to me about the program of study in the institution that you will be attended in the UK.
Well, I am attending the University of Edinburgh. I'm doing an LLM in a Master of Laws LLM in International Economic Law. What I essentially would be doing would be learning more about foreign investment and foreign trade and the rules governing foreign investment and foreign trade. And I want to focus specifically to small island developing states because as small island states, we are heavily reliant on foreign investment and foreign trade, and we need persons in this area to negotiate and basically look out for our interests in small island developing states. So that's what I'm hoping to do while here at Edinburgh. Those are the skills I'm hoping to gain to contribute to the Caribbean and my small island states, St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Wow, that's interesting. So how do you think this particular opportunity will position you to be able to accomplish all of that, respond in short order to the unique legal challenges that will present themselves in this century and into the next?
The thing is, the University of Edinburgh is one of the leading universities in the world, and it has some of the best experts in this field. So I've been speaking to some of my lecturers, and they are very much interested in what I'm willing to do. And also, I'm looking forward to engaging with the Chevening network because some persons have studied in this area, so I look forward to connecting with them, hearing their ideas also, and giving them my ideas also in an effort to better develop the Caribbean.
I know that St. Vincent and the Grenadines has had some major challenges over the last few years, as have we all. I mean, here in Barbados, we got your ash, you know. So based on everything that's been going on in St. Vincent over the last 2 years, you know, did that have any real impact on you or your thought process? Because you said you're looking to, even though you're in the legal field, you talked about looking into different ways of diversifying things like investment into agriculture and tourism and green energy and infrastructure and things of that nature. Is that playing a role in the way that you're looking at your legal future?
Yes, yes, certainly. St. Vincent is heavily reliant on agriculture, and very soon we're already dealing with the effects of climate change. So attracting foreign investment in those areas and attracting foreign investors to invest in those areas is really critical at this point in the development of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
I was very interested to see that you said as a legal professional, you want to be an agent for change in international economic relations. Very interesting to kind of tie the two together. What are you most anxious about when it comes to kind of packing up shop and taking in that more temperate climate in the UK?
I was really anxious about coming out of my comfort zone because over the last 2 years, basically being home, everything being online. So that change of now going back physically and moving to a whole new country where the temperature is much, much different than being at home. I was really anxious about all of these things. But being here for the last week and 2 days, I've been trying to adjust, trying to get to know my community, trying to get to know the people around me, to really get over that anxiety that I've had over the last 6 weeks or so, when I really came to terms with the fact that I'm really moving to the UK. So I think I'm getting better and I'm settling in really good here in the UK.
All right, that's good stuff. Again, congratulations. We know it's a real rigorous process, but we are rooting for you, Max Ron Holder, a 2022 Chevening Scholar from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I wish you all the best. Make sure you come on back and let us know how you're doing. And of course, we might be doing some business through you in the future with St. Vincent and the Grenadines, right?
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Certainly, I look forward to engaging with you again.
All right. Again, congratulations. And we're going to share some more about a few other scholars as we go through the morning. Coming up next, we are saluting another young man who is doing fantastic things in the area of climate change. That's next.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Join us this Friday as Morning Barbados will be broadcasting live from Local & Co. Queen Street, Spikestown, St. Peter. Tune into CBC TV 8 from 6:30 to 8 a.m. to be a part of the fun as we continue to take Morning Barbados on the road. Coming to a parish near you. Brought to you with the compliments of Great Health Works, agents for Omega XL and probiotics.
Morning to you.
Well, we know that we can't always build the future for our youth, but we most certainly can build our youth for the future. And that's why we love on Morning Barbados to salute exceptional young people who are doing wonderful things, not only here in Barbados, but indeed across the globe. You would know that this is such a small world. We can't draw lines anymore. The world really is our oyster, and that's how this next young man is approaching life. Brian Omondi, he is a marine research scientist and conservationist, and he is the Rufford Foundation Sea Turtle Ambassador and Hay Ambassador in Kenya. Quite a mouthful. Good morning and welcome.
Yeah, good morning to you. Thank you. It's an honor joining you guys.
All right, first of all, tell us, what developed your interest in marine biology?
Okay, so far I come from the Lake region. I come from an island in Lake Victoria. And being that I was a young fisherfolk when I was still a little boy, I used to be catching this freshwater sea turtle called the terrapin. And I would be slaughtering it. And from that perspective, when now I joined the university and started pursuing marine biology, that's when I realized that what I was doing as a young boy was not really good to the ecosystem and the environment. And after finishing my degree studies, I decided now to venture into marine conservation fully.
And you are a sea turtle, the Rufford Foundation Sea Turtle Ambassador here in Barbados. We pay a lot of attention to our sea turtles as well. Tell us about your role as an ambassador for sea turtles and, you know, exactly what you do. Let's see if it lines up with what's happening here on our island.
Okay, as a sea turtle ambassador for the Rufford Foundation, majorly what I do is conducting the nesting patrols to try and identify the sections that the sea turtle nest has been laid, and maybe to check if the nest needs a relocation or maybe it should be left as an in situ nest. There is also a program to do with the anti-poaching patrol, like trying to identify these sections where sea turtles are being slaughtered, and various remedies that we can do to the community, like awareness campaigns, so that we can limit the poaching. Also, we have education outreach programs to environmental clubs with institutions and also members of the community.
That's some wonderful work that you're doing. What advice would you give to young people out here who are interested in taking care of our environment? We know that climate change is now somewhat of a buzzword, but I'm not sure that there are very many of us who are on the ground and pounding the pavement the way that you are.
Okay, to the young people out there in the world, mostly conservation work was regarded to people who may be having expertise in this kind of field. But look, there's a change that you can do within your vicinity, not necessarily if you're an expert or not. It depends on how much you perceive the environment, because a healthy environment also replicates a healthy system into your body. And it generally affects all our existence. It doesn't matter maybe when you're an expertise or you don't really have expertise in that kind of the field. Taking care of the environment is all our responsibility, and as youth we should go for it.
All right, that's very important. I want to thank you so much, Brian Omondi, for coming in and sharing with us. Hey, Ambassador in Kenya, and I know you do a lot in the area of climate change as well through that particular program. So congratulations to you, and keep on keeping on. Usually when we see so many titles behind the name, we don't expect to see such a youthful looking face that goes along with it. So congratulations, and keep doing that wonderful work.
Thank you. Okay,
all right.
Thank you.
And thank you. We definitely are reaching across the world to bring young people to you who are making a difference in our world. We're going to take another break, and when we come back, we meet another Chevening scholar. Stay with us on Morning Barbados. It's 25 minutes after 7 o'clock.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's 26 minutes after 7 o'clock in Morning Barbados time, and we want to hear from you. Remember, we're going to have some fun a little bit later in the show. Everywhere I go, people have been telling me about this unscrambling of letters for phrases and words, Bajan, of course. So make sure that you get ready for that. It's coming up in just a little bit. But time for us to reach over to St. Vincent and the Grenadines once again and meet another Chevening scholar, this time Shafiq Sam, who is a lover of history, music, and culture, and is a regionalist at heart. Apparently, he's passionate about the Caribbean, its heritage, and development, and he's currently employed at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Good morning to you.
Good morning, good morning.
All right, good to see you. Let's talk about this regionalist heart that you have. What created this love for the Caribbean and all that's going on in the region in you?
So being from a small island, whenever I traveled to the States, I wasn't just a Vincentian. They asked me, was I from Jamaica, Trinidad, and I automatically got a very, easy association. And at 17, I went to the Global Young Leaders Conference in the States, and it was just me and Trinis and Bajans, and I realized we're very similar. So at my very formative years as a teenager, I realized that Caribbean people had a lot in common, and further being a student of history, you realize the shared similarities and the shared experiences that we have. And I think that was further concretized when I went to the University of the West Indies in Mona, in Jamaica. And so, it's a melting pot of different islands, different cultures. And I think over time, they just compounded my belief that, we're very much one people with, similar experiences and similar history. And, we're just better together.
We absolutely are. Now, I know that you're going to be pursuing economics when you go off, a master's degree in economics, focusing on development economics. How does that tie in to all of your love for heritage and development and being a regionalist in the Caribbean?
Well, heritage, Caribbean states have a similar or shared, issues when it comes to development, looking at climate change, being small, being vulnerable, being open, in small, vulnerable, open economies. We have that in common. And when observing my space, I was very curious of how can I contribute in tangible ways to the development of my region, of St. Vincent and the Grenadines in particular, and the region by extension. And so what I realized is that I've had previous studies in international relations and political science and history, and I realized the resource component of it, regarding economics, that was really needed, because whilst I had an understanding of certain historical and technical things, that tangible economic perspective was somewhat deficient. And I realized that, for example, I was observing the interview with Maxwell and hearing you got Vincent and Ash, and Ash is good for agriculture, and the way that we can utilize our space in a better way to allow for economic development. And as I said before, we're often stronger together. And how do we find niche ways to coordinate, especially in the case of St. Vincent, who is a very small and vulnerable space. Yeah.
Well, to make a little correction there for you, is St. Vincent Ash when it's over Vincentian airspace, but when it got here, it was Barbadian Ash.
From the Barbadian volcano.
I'm kidding. All right, so I see that you also have a strong passion for the blue economy and blue diplomacy, and that too is very impressive. It's so good to see that people of our generation and younger are so very interested in what's happening with the sea and the sun and all that we as Caribbean people, as small island developing states, have to offer.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny that you put a fancy label on the blue economy, but if you grew up in most coastal villages, you grew up with fisher folk around you, and even if you grew up in part of the tourism industry, the sun, sand, and sea tourism and sailors and being a part of a multi-island state, like water and movement has always been a part of our heritage. So it just felt natural. I mean, like quite tangibly, the Minister of Finance said, Caribbean states should reimagine ourselves not as small island states, but as large ocean states. And in Vinci, like we have more water than land. So that's like context for like the way we should be viewing our entire space.
And I know in 2022 you also became the United Nations OECS and Barbados, a part of the OECS and Barbados Youth Advisory Group. What does taking on that role mean to you?
Well, I had to abdicate that post because of studies. However, it allowed for me to facilitate my aforementioned aspirations by further networking with different youth in the Caribbean, and particularly connecting my and St. Vincent and the Grenadines development agenda to the larger one of the United Nations Eastern Caribbean one. And it really just allowed for learning, networking, and synergies, and to realize, okay, how can I give my own contribution, and how can I advocate for different issues and needs in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and by extension, the larger Caribbean. And whilst in that post, I was able to make statements representing the youth advisory group regarding different things. For example, the connection between food insecurity and poverty and those kind of things. So it allowed for a great opportunity not only for me to learn of the UN system, but to advocate for my state and to network and to further, as I said, facilitate my aforementioned passions about development and regional connectivity.
Now, Max Ron talked to us about how stressed out he was with the entire application process of trying to become a Chevening scholar. What about you? I don't know if you were refreshing your pages as much as he was, but what was the experience like for you?
So for me, I'm very big on planning. So like I had mentally mapped out wanting to be a Chevening scholar like 2 years prior. So I had, okay, like concepts as, okay, I'm going to apply. So there was no anxiety on like just the application itself. And then like incrementally I kind of worked towards the different timelines. The anxiety was just the length of time, like so like so applications open August. So I'm drafting my letter in August, refining my essays in August, submit them. And after submission, like you're waiting to hear if you get through for the interview. You're waiting. And so it's a heart in your chest because you're waiting to hear if you get through for the interview. And after the interview, to find out if you got through for the scholarship. So like there was a decent amount of anxiety as like the time was drawing closer. So as this was to get back to you in February as that got closer, my heart was in my chest. But other than that, like the application wasn't bad, especially because like I had foresight in to say, okay, well, I'm going to apply in this year, so it didn't catch me off guard.
Listen, I am so happy your heart was in your chest. I'm just being bad. Pay me no attention. Listen, congratulations. I know that you're looking forward to it, and you're going to do St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the region proud. I want to hear from you when you get back with this fancy master's degree in economics, all right?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
All right. And you take care. We're going to meet a final Chevening scholar for the morning when we return. Do stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Join us this Friday as Morning Barbados will be broadcasting live from Local & Co. Queen Street, Spikestown, St. Peter. Tune into CBC TV 8 from 6:30 to 8 a.m. to be a part of the fun as we continue to take Morning Barbados on the road. Coming to a parish near you. Brought to you with the compliments of Great Health Works, agents for Omega XL and probiotics.
Morning to you.
Today's Morning Barbados will be broadcasting live from Local & Co. Queen Street, Spikestown, St. Peter. Tune into CBC TV8 from 6:30 to 8 a.m. to be a part of the fun as we continue to take Morning Barbados on the road. Coming to a parish near you. Brought to you with the compliments of Great Health Works, agents for Omega XL and probiotics.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Just about 22 minutes to go before 8 o'clock, 22 minutes to 8. The time just goes by so quickly. Well, you know, today is the actual anniversary, yes. Today is the actual anniversary of the Cubana crash. And we have some other stuff going on today as well. So make sure you go on out and support it if you can. I want to say a special good morning to everyone who will be putting things together. That's right. Tomorrow we're going to have today we're going to have the premiere of the documentary film Cubana 455 at the amphitheater of the Barbados Museum and Historical Society. That's going to happen this morning at 10 o'clock. And tomorrow at 8 p.m. Today we have the rededication of the monument at Paynes Bay, St. James. So my bad, the rededication is this morning at 10. The premiere of the documentary is tomorrow evening at 8 o'clock. So if you can, make sure you attend it. I want to say a special good morning to all the Libras amongst us. You know, Beijing say that people are now and then. I find that Libras are more then than now. I don't know, you tell me. But if it's your birthday, still sending you some love. Happy birthday to you. I hope you have the best one today. Time now for another Chevening scholar. This time, a lady is in the mix, and we're going to reach out to neighboring St. Lucia and welcome Chelsea Jonge. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Hi.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. It's an honor to be with you this morning, Tisha.
It's wonderful to have you with us. And you're going to be pursuing a master's degree in communications at the University of Westminster in London. I am anxious, first of all, to hear why you wanted to become a Chevening scholar.
Well, there's so much prestige that comes with being a Chevening scholar. Firstly, let me say that Chevening is one of the most elite scholarships available right now to people looking to pursue a master's degree. In addition to that, the network that you build from this scholarship is mind-blowing. We have scholars from all across the world. I'm already in London, so I've been fortunate to meet with people from as far as Egypt, Africa, the rest of the Caribbean, of course, because we have quite a few Caribbean scholars, and we're here looking to make the world a better place, and it's an amazing experience.
Speaking of making the world a better place, I know you have a passion in the area of making the world better, rights and safety for women and girls, and you've also worked along with a few civic organizations in your native St. Lucia to accomplish that. So talk to me about that passion.
Okay, well, I am a firm believer, like you said, in supporting the rights of women and girls, especially those who cannot do so for themselves. So my last project was with the St. Lucia Crisis Center, and the St. Lucia Crisis Center is responsible for dealing with young women and men and boys and girls in vulnerable positions, ensuring that they have the services that they need, providing them with free counseling and other services to ensure that we take them out of these vulnerable positions. We've worked with underprivileged people, also with victims of domestic violence, to ensure that we support them and that they know the avenues available to them to get themselves out of these vulnerable situations. I think it's important for all of us sometimes to realize that as bad as things may be your way, there is somebody who can benefit from your support, who can benefit from your time and your efforts. And I always ensure to try to support those who cannot support themselves.
Chelsea, tell me what the transition was like. You know, to the naked eye, first of all, I can see you're wearing warmer clothes. Not that you wouldn't wear that in St. Vincent, but you know, you're in the sweater capital of the world. Good morning to all of my Londoners, everybody from the UK. So what was the transition like for you?
St. Lucia is hot right now. It is hot in St. Lucia. I've been here for just about 3 weeks, and whilst It's still not very cold yet. We're definitely in the warm sweater season. Um, the transition has been I've been adapting, but it's definitely been very different. Even from coming through the airport, and of course, the UK is miles ahead of us in terms of technology and everything, and just the way they live. So it's been a little bit shaky trying to adapt to just their way of living, how they do business, the clothing, of course, to ensure that I stay warm and stay alive in the weather, and of course in going to school and all of that. But it's definitely a once in a lifetime opportunity.
What are you looking forward to most in this stint, during this time of this stint in the UK?
Well, I am looking forward to graduating with honors, for one. But
That's a positive.
Yes. I'm also hoping to find a cause similar to that of the St. Lucia Crisis Center to support women and girls here, and also to learn, particularly because they're so much more advanced than us in terms of their technology and the opportunities that they have available, to learn how they do what they do to support these women and girls, to be able to take that back home to adopt that in St. Lucia.
All right. And is there anything that you'd like to share with anyone who's thinking maybe 2023 could be my year? What advice would you give?
I will say that Chevening is, I've said once in a lifetime, I think 2 or 3 times in this interview, and I'll say it again. I think it is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I think the scholarship provides you with an avenue to not only get a fully paid master's degree in the UK, but to develop your own network, to develop your professional skills, to really push you. And Chevening has a way of picking out future leaders of tomorrow. So they're handpicking you and giving you the opportunity to develop your skills to get you to wherever it is that you decide to be in life. And there's no age limit. There's no limit in terms of your field. Whatever it is that you decide you want to study, the opportunity is available to you. And I encourage anybody who is interested, if you're even thinking about pursuing your master's degree, to apply. The worst that they can say is no. But it is a very, very advancing opportunity, and the doors that it opens, the people that you'll meet, you will never regret it.
All right. Are you missing anything in particular from home?
The food. Food is very different here, but I always miss. I'm a lover of food. I enjoy our local foods, and it's just not prepared the same here. But I do try my best to cook as often as I can. But I do miss the food, and technology has made it easy so that I always see and speak to my family and friends. But I cannot speak to my food.
Listen, you're talking to Barbadians, okay? You're talking to Barbadians. So when you say the local food, Barbadians are thinking, is she having cuckoo today? No, what are you talking about? You have to share more.
I would definitely go for some cuckoo, I would definitely go for some. But I'm talking about our own local food, like our saltfish prepared the way that it is. And people may say, oh, you have saltfish there, but it's very different. The texture of everything is different. The flavor is different. And I can try my best to add our own local flavorings, but it just is very different, and I do enjoy it, but it is different. So I'm looking forward to going back home and sitting down and having a proper saltfish and bakes.
Saltfish and bakes. That sounds good for a good Bajan breakfast, a good Lucian breakfast as well.
Yes.
All right. We are lucky to have people like you from the region, being a Chevening scholar and bringing the knowledge and experience that you gain in other parts of the world back to this Caribbean region so that we can be better for it. Congratulations, and do us proud, all right?
Thank you. I plan to do so.
All right, that's Chelsea Jungay, and she is a 2022 Chevening scholar from neighboring St. Lucia. So good morning to all the Lucians locked on to Morning Barbados this morning. Hey, a little bit of fun and frolic when we come back. I don't know, put your thinking caps on because we are breaking out the letters. And I'm told that the scrambling today will scramble your brain. So move away from the stove. We're not scrambling eggs. We're scrambling words. Next on Morning Barbados.
Morning. morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
11 minutes to go before 8 o'clock, 11 minutes to go. Yesterday I saw a parent. I left here and went off to the school. And he said, I saw you on the TV when I was leaving home. How did you get here before me? Well, I don't know if you know, but CBC bought a helicopter. All right, it's time to unscramble some words. Call me up. The numbers are 228-5562 or 228-5563. And they told me they are making these words a little more difficult because everybody who answered so far this week got it on the first go. All right, so let's see if we can get this one. You know me, I have to put on the specs to be able to see all these letters, see what's going on. All right. I think I know what it is. But the question is, do you? So call me up and let me know. Unscramble those letters and tell me what the word is. It's something that's uniquely and authentically Bajan. The word is. So make sure you come on through and find out more about that. All right, so let's see who's on the phone line. Good morning.
Good morning, Tisha.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, and you?
I am doing well, too. Where are you calling me from?
This is Rhonda, St. Lucie.
Hello, Rhonda in St. Lucie. Where in St. Lucie?
I come from KFL. You know
All
me,
right,
Tisha,
KFL,
Rhonda Hines Graham.
Hello, Rhonda Hines Graham. We
Yes,
share
please.
last name, so, you know, good things are happening there.
Yes, please.
All right, Rhonda, do you know the answer?
It looking like Jenkins.
Rhonda, you are so wrong for that. She said, it looking like Jenkins. All right, you know the rules. You have to use it in context.
Okay, we passed down the road by Jenkins last night, you know.
Of course you have to. Every bus going from
Yeah,
St. Lucie to Bridgetown has to pass Jenkins, right?
Have to pass Jenkins. On my way to home, I passed Jenkins.
I have no idea what Roel just said. All right. All right. So they're telling me to ask you where Jenkins is. Really? You think she doesn't know where Jenkins is?
Jenkins and Black Rock.
Listen, you would know that I wouldn't ask you a question like that,
like
right?
that there because we going to St. Lucie and we bus down past there. My bus passing Jenkins.
So you're not going to Spicetown?
If I go to Spicetown, I got to pass through Spicetown to get home, you know.
I mean getting out. When I said going to Spicetown, you know I don't mean that.
Right.
I don't mean
getting
passing
out.
through.
I going straight. I going to catch water. I going straight. The Pike Carnival going to carry me straight. It might carry me all through Chuck and Georgia Hill anything before I get home, but it's going to carry me home. And we're going to pass Jenkins too.
I love that St. Lucie accent. Any big plans for today?
Well, I'm getting ready to go off to work, heading off to work.
All right, you want to say where work is?
Yeah, Baby Bunts, Colonel Mall. That's where I work. That's where
All
you
right,
can
so
find
good
me
morning.
every day.
Good morning to everybody at work. Good morning. All right. You have a great day, Rhonda. Sending love.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. That was a good call. You know, always good to connect with my St. Lucie folks. All right, 7 minutes to go. Here is another word. Again, another authentically Bajan word. This one could be a little tricky. I think this one could be a little tricky. But I know you can get it. They're trying to get us. They're trying really hard with these words and the scrambling. But I know you know exactly what it is. And we are working in teams. I know, because most people call me up and, you know, there's somebody prompting in the background. Usually, you know, in years gone by, when they had game shows, they would say, no prompting. I encourage prompting. So if you have somebody in the background helping you out, A-OK. All right, so call us up 228-5562 or 228-5563 and unscramble these letters and tell me exactly what authentically Bajan word it is, and then use the word in context so that we know that you understand the word. A lot of these words are words that older Barbadians used often. And we hear them now from time to time, but we truly have to keep them alive by sharing them with an entire new generation of Barbadians. That's equally important as well. So let's go to the phone line and see who's there. Good morning. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Where are you calling me from and what's your name?
I am calling from St. Michael.
St. Andrew?
St. Michael.
Oh, I was getting a little excited because I said yesterday I wanted somebody from St. Andrew. Yeah, but St. Michael works. Where in St. Michael are you?
Pickwick Gap.
Pickwick Gap. All right. So do you think you have the answer for me?
Yes, please.
All right. What's the word?
Mute. Mute. Men. Is it?
You have to turn down the television a little in the background.
I say mute. Mute.
It's what?
Mute.
I don't know. I can't understand what you're saying so well. I'm sorry, that's not a very good call. Oh boy. Yeah, but good to see that the little ones are trying to guess the words as well. It's 5 minutes to 8 o'clock. School is going to start shortly. I hope that you live in the neighborhood of the school, all right? Hopefully you get to school on time. All right, so let's try another call. I head back to the phone line. Good morning.
Good morning, Tisha.
All right, good morning. How are you doing?
I am okay.
Who is this and where are you calling me from?
This is Billy Scant. I am from St. Lucie.
My St. Lucie people in the house taking over. You guys are not representing for Pearson, are you? I know he's a St. Lucie guy too.
Of course.
All right. So can you unscramble this word?
Yes.
Go for it.
The word is umpteenth.
It is umpteenth. And I swear my mother uses this word at least 5 times a day.
Yeah.
All right. So use the word in context.
This is the umpteenth time I'm telling you, do not do that.
Only Barbadians can come up with a new number. Umpteenth.
Yeah.
Or positioning, or whatever it is. What are your big plans for today?
To go to work.
Okay, where's work?
In Bridgetown.
She's not telling us. Good morning to everybody trying to get into busy Bridgetown, and everybody working at the store named Bridgetown where she works.
Not in government.
All right, you have a wonderful day today. Thank you for sharing with us. Travel safely, all right? Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, we're going to try to slip in just one more. All right, these letters look funny. I don't know. You tell me. A Bajan term, Unscramble it. Let me see. I have it. I have it. Do you have it? Call me up, 228-5562, 228-5563, and let me know if you can unscramble this Bajan term. This one is easy, for sure. For sure, sure. They're insulting us for not these little easy things on your screen. Come on. We're going to annihilate the people in the background there. We definitely know what this one is, and using this in context would be pretty interesting. The time is wearing thin, though. I think I should probably do it myself, or maybe we should reach out to somebody else and get them to do it. Yeah? All right. Well, I wonder who is going to call me next and where they are going to be from to solve this one here. This one is definitely very easy. I had a really good time doing these particular ones throughout the week. All right, let's go back to the phone line. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. Where are you calling me from?
Minecraft St. Peter.
St. Peter is in the house. Do you know what the word is, what the words are? Because there are two words.
Pop kite.
It is pop kite. Congratulations. All right. All right. In terms of how we use this term in Barbadian parlance, can you make a sentence using the term pop kite?
I don't know a sentence. I don't know a sentence about pop kite.
You don't know a sentence about pop kite? But do you know what's a pop kite?
No.
Who told you the answer?
I guessed it myself.
All right, that's a good guess. What's your school?
Thanks.
What school do you go to?
I go to Garden Green Primary School.
All right, good morning to everybody going to that school, and you have a great day at school. Be good today and be great, okay? Sending you loads of love and wishing you a wonderful day. All the viewers online, on TV8, thank you so much for joining us today. Make sure you come out and join us. We're going to be at Local & Co. Restaurant at Queen Street, St. Peter, tomorrow from 6:30. You can watch out for me. I'll be there with the CBC team. We're going to have a great show outside on Friday. All right, wishing you all the best today. Stay sweet and wear your smiles, all right? See you tomorrow.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.